Truella pondered the words that the Holy Godfather had spoken to her that evening. She did not know what the future had in store for her, but she was sure of this one thing. Whatever she had overcome in the past was only a stepping stone to what was ahead of her. She had learned throughout the years that even though life happens, with God as her foundation, a good life could be built. And believe me, a lot had happened in the past 7 years of Truella's life. Frederick was still the youth pastor at Old Victory, and of course, Truella still had her shop. But that was about the only two things that had stayed consistent in her life. Elizabeth, her older daughter, had grown up to become quite a young lady. And she was 17 now and very ready for her independence. William, their son, who had excelled in jousting and sword fighting, well, he was actually drafted into the Royal Regiment. War had broke out several years ago with the renegades from the north, and William was needed to protect the freedoms of his country. Meredith, their youngest daughter, was now 8, and she was the top of her class at Old Victory. And Victor, the baby, well, he was just beginning his career at Old Victory and was very adamant about following in his older brother's footsteps. Aunt DeMonica, we all remember Aunt DeMonica, she had come to live with Truella and her family not long after Frederick had heard of her illness. Well, the first couple of years were very hard for Truella to befriend her aunt, but little by little, God put a love in her heart that way exceeded the hatred she once felt for her aunt. But don't get me wrong, Truella still had issues. Well, every now and then, things would seep out of her heart that she didn't even know was there, and she had to really struggle to work through it. And that wasn't easy either, because Aunt DeMonica was right there in the flesh, ready to do battle, and she hadn't changed much either. Well, she changed some, I must be honest. She was the new, improved, saved version. Yes, Truella had the honor of bringing her to Christ a couple of years ago. But she's no super saint yet. I'm just telling the story. She is still stubborn and sarcastic and controlling. Oh, but it's all done in Christian love now. Oh, yeah. Oh, and I almost forgot to tell you. Aunt DeMonica's changed her name. When she read the story about how God changed his name to Abraham, oh, she thought with a new life, she's got to have a new name. So, Aunt DeMonica is now Aunt Harmonica. And she brings harmony to everyone she meets. At least she thinks she does. Anyway, oh, and one more thing that I almost forgot to tell you about Aunt DeMonica. I mean, Aunt Harmonica. The illness. She has a mild case, well, actually, it's moderate case, of dementia. Yes, unfortunately, she forgets things in the present, and she has a very poor recollection of things in the past, in her favor, I might add. And this causes confusion, not only with her, but with the whole family. But they have learned to deal with this the best way they know how, and that is with God's help.